Joining me is psychiatrist and author Tanveer Ahmed. Tanveer, great to catch up with you. Tanveer, I've mentioned facts. The ABC global warming activists, they just laugh. They don't care. They don't care about the facts. They don't want to know. They just say, get on board the train. What is going on there?
Well, it does have features, especially this most radical element, Sandra. It does have features of religion, doesn't it? And you alluded to Nazism, communism. I mean, they're sometimes called secular totalitarian versions of religion, where you have a revelation. The revelation is available to only a set number of people. In climate change, maybe that's the wealthy, urban, knowledge workers, if you like. And there's a chosen people who have the knowledge, in this case, that we must, cut emissions at all costs. And they're obviously sinners. It's a battle of good and evil. And not only is there a battle of good and evil, and you mentioned whether it's News Limited or particular politicians, oil companies, fossil fuels as this epitome of sin, but then there's a story of rebirth. There's almost like we have to go through some sort of sacrifice and pain, and from the other side, there's a rebirth and a kind of utopia. So these are all features of religion. I think we see that in the most radical, which is quite broad, which is quite a significant portion of a country like Australia. Yet even today, Andrew, I'll tell you, so even today, for some of my writing, I was talking to an Indian and Bangladeshi energy analyst. And I'm originally from Bangladesh, one of the poorest countries in the world. You speak to them about this, and these are countries that are going to be most affected by climate change. They have a pragmatism. They're like, okay, look, climate change, that's one issue of many, and we need to use coal. We're not going to sit around and not have energy, reliable power to lift people out of poverty. And that pragmatism is often what's missing in our debate, and it's completely divorced from the realities of much of the world, especially the developing world.
No, but you say pragmatism, but as you saw from Greta Thunberg's blah, blah, blah speech, pragmatism is a sin. You've got to be pure. You've got to be pure. And I want to pick up on the first part of your answer, because I think you're right. What you were describing is bizarre analogies. They're unmistakable between this and the sort of old-time Christianity. It seems to me that people really do want to believe the world is facing, a doom, an apocalypse, the last Trump, because of our sins. I mean, the last Trump, biblical sense, not Donald Trump, because of our sins. It's almost religious. It's just, in fact, like the new telling of Noah's Ark, complete with rising seas. What is global warming really doing? How's it helping? What function is it serving for these many believers?
Well, look, I guess you could certainly make an argument that we live in a post-religious society in a traditional sense, but yet we still have big yearnings for these grand mythologies. Salvation is a critical need for most human populations, or at least the idea of salvation. So I think for many people, it is filling a gap there, where you have, you have a real gap in, if you like, the metaphysical meaning for most people for a large portion of people in Western societies. So I think we have to be wary that the various fables, the grand ideologies around climate change, whether it's the Green New Deal or however you want to frame it, I think they do fill some sort of a gap there where you get such an intensity. And for example, many of us, if you express the remotest, if not skepticism, just pragmatism, just being, okay, let's be pragmatic. You can be completely shunned from polite society for expressing even a simple opinion like that.